it doesn't look too good with his Achilles. Monty Watts has a head injury, and so does Snead. So I think those guys will be okay. I'm proud of our guys for the great job that they did. The exciting atmosphere. Fans were unbelievable. My hat goes off to all the people that allowed us to get to this position. Mark Donovan and his crew for allowing to have actual fans in the stadium the whole year and it being productive that way. And all the people that were involved in making that possible, starting with Clark Hunt on down for having a vision there. And so, and then listen, our fans were incredible as always. I mean, we don't have a lot of them in there, but they were extremely loud. And so we appreciate that too. Anyways, I thought it was a good team win. I thought all three coordinators had a nice plan, and the coaches did a nice job with it, and then the players, most of all, believed in it and went out and executed and played their tail off. And so what a great opportunity for Kansas City and for the organization to have the opportunity of going back to Tampa and playing the home team there, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in their stadium, which is the first time that's ever happened with a team. So, listen, we're honored to be there, and we've got work to get done before we have an opportunity to get down there. So, anyways, with that, by the way, I'm also very proud of where the Buffalo Bills are and Sean McDermott and the great job that he's done. It's great for the National Football League. It's great for the city of Buffalo to have the Bills back like they are, and they're a heck of a football team. And Sean's a big part of that, obviously. So anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, a couple things. Is Fisher's Achilles injury, is it a tear?
We think so. We haven't got that far with it, but it doesn't look good, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'm glad that's the only thing that you had to ask me.
No, I actually have a football question too.
All right, good.
Pat had a lot to overcome this week. When did you know that he just wasn't going to play, but he was going to play as well as he did today?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he came out and he practiced. He did a great job with it all week. He was on a limited basis early with the protocol that he was having to deal with. and yet he just kept positive with it. He did just what he told you guys he did. He stayed positive with every part of it, whether it was the toe, whether it was his head, the protocol, the things that he had to do with that. And, he worked his way through it. I'll tell you, I think the trainers and he had a good plan for the toe. I mean, that was an amazing looking thing after our last game. And how black and blue it was. And within a day, the trainers and Pat, with his diligence of taking care of business at his home too, with the game ready machine, they were able to get that swelling and the black and blue out, and which really allowed him to recover quite a bit quicker.
We'll go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. Last year you had said that you guys never really got to your ceiling. I'm just curious, as you guys go into another Super Bowl, how close do you think you guys are to sort of what you can be?
Listen, I mean, we got room to get better. I mean, we can improve. We had a couple of things that went a little haywacky today, but we stayed on course and we did a lot of good things. So we did more good things than bad things. But this job's a little bit like, and I'm talking about players and coaches, like being a farmer. And the work's never done. You can always work to get better and as a team. So that's what we're going to do here the next couple of weeks. We're playing a heck of a football team in the Buccaneers.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, after McCole Hardman had the muffed punt, how important was it to keep him involved in the game? And what did you say to him after that?
Yeah, so listen, just bear down, focus in, man. Just watch it all the way into the tuck, basic fundamentals. And Dave's the one who talked to him about all that and got him going. Greg Lewis talked to him. So, and then he was thrown back out there and given another chance. So, and he's made plays for the last couple of years since he's been here. He's made plays. And so that was, he had a muff and keep him in and let's go, right? So. That's what we
Next
did.
thing.
Herbie, I've got it.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach, I mean, a crazy 2020 with the pandemic and an election on top of everything. Your locker room, the guys in there have offered a sense of normalcy to this city. Is there anything that you can kind of wrap your head around that and offer for that?
Yeah, listen, I mean, we feel bad for the people that have suffered from this, and some have lost their lives, but we also people that are suffering a little bit to live for. And so I think that's been a real plus for the guys and for the city. I mean, and probably, listen, if you look at the National Football League right now, it's probably great for the nation, and it gives them hope. And that's right now, that's what we need. And stay safe and move forward.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Coach, congrats on the win. If you're nitpicking the team this year a little bit, one of the problems that you guys had a lot of time was red zone defense, and that was one of the strengths that led you to the victory tonight. Just what did you see from those guys and maybe was clicking when it got down to the red zone?
Yeah, Pete, they've been like working their tail off to fix that problem, and so I have a chance to watch it every day, and they've gone over it and over and over it, and I think that it's paid off for them, in particular in this game. So we got one more game to even get ourselves a little bit better at it, and that's what we'll work on.
Let's go next to Jarrett Bell. Go ahead, Jarrett.
How you doing, Jarrett?
Hey, Andy, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you guys fell behind 9-0 today, just like in the playoffs last year, and you had a lot of close calls the second half of the season. How are you feeling about the psyche of your team, the resilience when you get into these types of situations?
Yeah, listen, I think everybody knows, or on our team at least, they trust that we can score quickly if needed. And I mean, we always want to score. That sounds bad. I mean, but we need to do that sooner. I'm telling you that as a coach, but I think everybody has confidence that if we get behind, we've got enough power there to get it right and try to fix whatever problems we've had and put points on the board. So, I'm proud of the guys for that resiliency that they have. And we were able to put a couple points on the board tonight, and it worked out okay.
We'll go last two, Sam McDowell and then Vahe. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy.
All right, Sam.
I'm wondering, I realized that pretty quickly your focus will shift to Tampa Bay, but I'm wondering if you could appreciate just the magnitude of a Mahomes versus Brady matchup there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we've had a couple of those, and every one of them is tremendous. And I wouldn't expect this to be any different. They got a tremendous team there. So, and those two have a lot of respect for each other. You remember when Tom came into the locker room after the championship game and talked to Patrick, and Patrick responded like a young guy would respond to the GOAT, and so we look forward to the opportunity to play them, and I know Pat does with Tom, and likewise Tom I'm sure does with Pat. So should be a heck of a football game.
We'll go last to Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy, congratulations. And Matt, I'll try to have a quick follow-up too. But I wonder, Andy, if you could just describe what this says about Patrick to be certainly not able to do everything all week fully. I know he did most things, but just what testament this is to what he gives you, I guess, in a new way.
Yeah, well, listen, you guys are seeing him grow right in front of you here. So he's a homegrown right here in Kansas City for the National Football League part of it. And I think you're seeing the steps that he's taken. And I sit there and I'm an old guy that's seen a couple pretty good quarterbacks, and I just keep going. This guy seems to amaze me a little bit more every game. So I'm proud of the way he handles it most of all, though. He doesn't, you guys aren't writing stories of this guy's got a big head, this and that, he's showing people up, and no, he's about the team, and he's all in, and he works his tail off, and he does it the right way, which is important. It's important for longevity for his career, for success for the Kansas City Chiefs, and obviously now for the Super Bowl.
And then the follow-up, Andy, is just obviously you've got that other game that's going to be the signature of the season, but this was quite a feat to get back to a Super Bowl. It doesn't happen very often. Are you able to put that in perspective compared to last year?
Well, I will when I get about 2 seconds to sit down. That's what I'm going to sit there and I'm going to go, doggone, how about this one? Vahe, man alive. This is better than, almost beating Miami that year when we were at Missouri. They were number one in the country, and we had them right there. It took Colorado. I'm bringing you back on history here. It took Colorado 5 downs to beat us. I remind Eric Bieniemy of that all the time. But I will when I have a chance to sit down and think about it, I'm sure. But we've got some work that we got to get done, and we understand that. The guys understand that.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. I believe we have Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt coming up next. Hi, Clark. We are ready whenever you are.
Okay. Hey, guys. Just as an opening statement, I'm obviously very proud of the team tonight, the effort they put forward. Really thought it was one of the best games that we'd played all year. It's incredible just to get back to the AFC Championship game, much less win it and get to go to Tampa with an opportunity to win another Lombardi Trophy. I can't speak highly enough about the job that Andy's done the entire year. This year had more challenges and more distractions than any football year in recent memory. And Andy did a great job of leading him through that, keeping him focused, and the performance tonight showed it.
We'll go first to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Clark, congratulations. Wanted to revisit the decision to run it back. Obviously, it looks like it's worked out, at least so far, but was that a difficult decision to come to maybe bring back this group of guys as opposed to maybe make some changes and try to bring some fresh blood in here like you did the year before?
It really wasn't. And I credit Brett Veach for the job he did with our roster. Obviously, most of the starters were the same ones we had last year, but there were a few changes. As he does every year, he found good players who could fill those roles. But really, when we brought the nucleus of this team together, the idea was to have a team that would be together for a number of years. Many of the key contributors were very young when we either drafted them or signed them as free agents. And we're just watching the group grow up in front of our eyes.
We'll go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Clark, you mentioned a little bit about just the enormity of this year and trying to get through everything you guys had to do. Was there ever a point, at any point in the offseason with everything that was going on in the world where you thought, I don't know if there's even going to be a football season, or are you going to get to where you're going to be a couple weeks away from the Super Bowl?
I think in the spring and early summer, many of us had a lot of uncertainty about how this was going to unfold. I don't think we knew for sure that you could play football safely, that the virus would not be passed on the football field. Those were just things we didn't know. And it was really a step-by-step process for the league and all the teams to figure out how to do it this year. And credit to the medical staffs at the league, at the Players Association, and with each team on the job they did navigating and coming up with the protocols that allowed us to play. I mean, the fact that we've made it now to the Super Bowl without a game canceled, I think is a testament to how good the protocols were and the job that everybody has done to follow those protocols so that we can be at this point.
Go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Clark. Congratulations. I'm wondering if there is a specific example, given today's win, where you can look back and see the true impact of the importance of the leadership from Patrick and Andy on the team that led to today's success.
Well, I think if you look at the last 7 or so games that we played before the Charger game at the end of the season, a lot has been made about how close those games were and the fact that they were all one-score games or less. And I think that really speaks to the leadership that we have on the team. That maybe even though the team wasn't at our best on those days, the leaders on the team found a way to get it done. Some weeks it was the offense, some weeks it was the defense, and some weeks the special teams contributed to that. But to me, that's really a sign of great leadership. They had each other's back throughout the season and allowed us to get through and get to the playoffs. And then the performance today, I don't know that it was a complete game, but it was one of the best for sure.
Got time for a couple more. We'll do Pete and then Vahe. Go ahead, Pete.
Clark, congrats on all the success. I know when you took over as chairman in the mid-2000s, you would always hope that the Chiefs would be this model franchise that could do something like have a franchise quarterback with a rapport with the head coach and go to multiple Super Bowls, things like that. Now that your plan is finally coming to fruition, I just was curious how it feels to maybe be looked at across the NFL of a team that some other team out there might be building toward.
Well, I'm very proud of the group of people that we have here. I guess if there was one thing that I would really, point to, that starts with Andy, Brett Veach, Mark Donovan, the leaders in the locker room. I think that group of people has allowed us to build a team that's a consistent winner and one that can hopefully compete for many championships. I certainly don't take it for granted. It's very, very difficult, as recent history has proved, for teams to get back to the Super Bowl or get back and win the Super Bowl. So our job's not done at this point, but I'm very proud of the guys, and I think it's really a testament to the quality of the people that we have.
We'll go last to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Clark, congratulations. I wonder if you could just describe the feeling of a second time having the trophy in your father's name, and maybe how much that symbolizes a little bit of a turn after so many hard years in the postseason for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, this year is definitely different than last year. In a lot of ways, last year was the finish line for a quest that we'd been on for literally 50 years. And, that first time that you achieve what you set out to achieve will always be that special. But what I remember about last year was getting to lift that trophy in front of our great fans at Arrowhead Stadium with my mom on stage. That setting, I'll never forget. That moment will be one of the most special of my entire life. So glad to get to do it again. Thought a lot about my dad tonight. Thought about my family and how excited my father would have been that we got to do it again in Arrowhead. That's what he would have liked best about it.
Clark, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, we've got General Manager Brett Veach coming up next. Hey, Veach, we are ready whenever you are.
Hey guys, real quick, just like to say congratulations to our great fan base, this great city, and really the entire organization. Certainly Clark Hunt and the Hunt family for all their support and everything they do. Mark, Andy. Last year we certainly had the opportunity to show the league what type of talent we had on the field, and I think this year we got to show them what type of talent we have in the organization to get through this season with all the adversity. Everyone just chipping in. Our trainers are phenomenal. Our training staff, the facilities people, the grounds crew. It's been challenging, but we're certainly blessed to have the talent we have top down. So thanks to all those guys for their support throughout the season, and it's a blessing to work here and work for them. So with that, I'll take your questions.
We'll go first to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Brett, you guys have been pretty open and consistent with the run it back thing, right? There's some organizations that might look at that as like, oh, that's a little bit much. I just always got the feeling that you guys saw that as a way to sort of stay focused, stay motivated. Am I right about that? What was your view of that part of it?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, look, we have a great locker room, and when you have guys like Tyrann Mathieu and Pat Mahomes on each side of the football, those guys are going to demand attention to detail, just like the head coach. So our guys embraced it. They love being, not, I guess in years past we were the hunters, but they embraced being the hunted, and they love that challenge. And these guys are always looking for ways to motivate themselves. So that was another way to do that.
Go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Brad, I'm just interested from your perspective, just obviously accomplishing this. Obviously, you need guys who are playing the roster to play well, guys like L'Jarius Sneed, Nick Allegretti, Mike Remmers, and obviously Darrell Williams, obviously playing in the postseason for the first time. Can you just explain how rewarding it is to give those guys a chance to have success alongside, obviously, the stars?
Yeah, we say it every year going into the drafts in the offseason. It's these are long seasons. These are week in and week out. It's tough to win games. Long seasons, battle of attrition, and it's not a question of if, but when the next guy's got to step up. So we really take a lot of pride in building the roster, and certainly we have superstars at the top. But we know as the season goes on, as you mentioned, Nate, guys like Mike Remmers and Darrell Williams. I mean, those guys keep seasons going, and those guys are going to be called upon. And you never know when, but these guys train, they prepare, and they work their tails off. But certainly, we know how important depth is in this league, and that's why I think our staff does such a great job of being aggressive at any point, not just free agency in the first round of the draft, but just staying active throughout the course of the calendar year.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Brett, congratulations.
Thanks,
I'll have a couple things for you here. First of all, when did you know that Pat was not just going to play, but play as well as he did tonight? And after all he had to overcome this week. And Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up.
Really just the dialogue I had with Rick throughout the week. And I mean, you guys know Pat as well as anyone throughout the country. Just I mean, he's a competitor, and I think he has that ability to kind of work through pain, and you see it really throughout his career, whether he had a shoulder, an ankle, a knee. I mean, shoot, the guy came back last year after dislocating his kneecap, and I think 2 days later he was in the pool doing drops. So you knew there wasn't going to be really anything to keep him off the field, and if he was cleared medically, that he would manage the pain in the toe. And I think he had some pain afterwards, but you knew once he put the helmet on out there, he was going to give you everything he had, and he certainly did that tonight. And
as you were building this team, when did you start thinking in terms of multiple championships rather than just the one, if that makes any sense? I know you take nothing for granted. I get that part of it, but I'm just wondering when, Clark kind of alluded to this when you guys were building this, that maybe there was going to be an opportunity for more than just one. And I'm just kind of wanted to get into your thinking on that.
Yeah. I think, the approach that we have is we had a good core and a good nucleus with Pat and Chris and Tyrann and I think our mindset was to just fill in as much talent as we could, and we knew. I mean, I think when you have a Hall of Fame coach and you have the best player in the National Football League, that you're going to have a chance to win every game. So I think we know that there's a good chance we'll be able to go out there and compete week in and week out, and it's just a matter of filling out the depth of that roster and making sure that when we do run into some issues throughout the course of the season, that we're prepared from a depth standpoint, and that's the challenge. And certainly this year with COVID, there was even more challenges. But again, go back to just the strength of the organization on all levels. It really pays dividends when you have a season like we have this year.
The last to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Brett, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Herbie.
Just a quick follow-up to Nate Taylor's earlier question on L'Jarius Sneed. You obviously thought well enough of him to draft him, but when did you know, at what point this season, that you actually had something special with him?
Well, really, I guess, it was early on. The first few starts, he's, I'll tell you what, we certainly got fortunate. I think had they had one of these draft do-overs, I mean, you can make a case for L'Jarius being selected in the first round. So I guess we were maybe lucky, more lucky than smart with that one, because he probably, in retrospect, shouldn't have been there in the fourth round. But again, Steve and his staff, I mean, Steve has a great feel. Dave Merritt and Sam Madison are phenomenal as well. Steve has a really good eye. And I remember talking to Steve during draft process and going back and watching L'Jarius a couple of years ago when he played corner as opposed to safety his final year at La Tech. And But, the talent's there. And that's the cool thing about working here as general manager. If the talent's there, the coaches will get it out of them, whether it be Coach Reid and his staff, Coach Bieniemy and his staff. And we just got great coaches that find a way to put these players in position to make plays. And they certainly have done that with LJ. And he's been phenomenal all year.
Right. We appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we're going to roll through quite a bit of guys here, so we're going to do 3 or 4 questions each to get everybody through. It'll take a little longer with Patrick. Patrick is first up, guys. Hey, Patrick, you ready for us?
Ready.
We'll start first with Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, congrats on the win. You had a really tumultuous week, physically wise. Were you going to play? Were you not going to play? At what point in the game did you feel like, all right, I'm feeling good and I'm ready to rock?
I felt good from the warm-ups on. We did a good job as far as rehab and getting myself ready to go, and I feel like I was myself out there, and we were able to go out there and score points and find a way to win against a really good football team.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick. This game would obviously be a huge game regardless, but what's sort of just the magnitude of playing in Tom Brady against in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. Being able to go up against one of the greatest, if not the greatest, quarterback of all time in his 150th Super Bowl, I mean, it's going to be a great experience for me. I mean, to go out there and have a chance to repeat and get to do it against the best. I mean, it's something special, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, what exactly is going to be your game plan going forward? I mean, how much are you going to allow yourself to enjoy this versus, when you're going to start looking at film and really getting into the Super Bowl?
I mean, I'll start looking at film tomorrow. I mean, we're in COVID protocol, so I can't really do much, but celebrate with Brittany and my brother. But I'll be excited to do that tonight. But I mean, our goal from the beginning of the season was to win the Super Bowl, not to get to it. So I'll be on the film tomorrow.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Congratulations, Patrick. Just wanted to ask you, what worked so well for both Tyreek and Travis when you were allowed to throw the ball without having to move as much?
Yeah, I mean, those guys just know how to get themselves open. I mean, they're obviously super talented, but they understand our offense to a crazy degree. And so I thought EB did, and Coach Reid did a great job of designing plays for them to get them open, and they were able to get open in zone or man coverage, and I just got them the ball.
Let's go next to Vahe Gregorian.
Hey, Patrick, congratulations. Brad, I'll have one follow-up too. Patrick, I wonder if you might be able to tell us, it looked like you went over to McCole pretty quickly after the punt to try to tell him something along the lines of, we need you, or something to that effect. What did you try to establish there?
Yeah, I mean, I just told him to keep his head up. I mean, we've been in that situation before. So I told him he's going to make a play in this game that's going to change the game, and he made multiple of them. So we believe in each other. We think that we're going to do whatever it takes to win, and those guys did that.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Patrick, congratulations. It sounded like at the AFC title podium, one of the things you said was jobs not finished. I was wondering if that was an intentional tribute to Kobe Bryant, what went behind it, and why that mentality means something to you.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe has one of the best mentalities of all time as far as a competitor going out there and winning championships, not just winning games. And I take a lot from that, going out there every single day and not being satisfied with where you're at. And like I said, the job's not finished. When we went into the season, we weren't talking about going to the Super Bowl. We were talking about winning it again, and we're trying to run it back. And we mean that, and I'm excited for the opportunity to go out there and play against a great football team and try to do that.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go Arnie and then Steve. Go ahead, Arnie.
Hey, Patrick. Andy talked about how in the AFC championship a couple years ago that after the overtime loss, Tom Brady came to talk to you, and he said it was a special moment for you. Can you just tell me what it meant for you in your career as a young guy, what it meant when Tom came and talked to you afterwards?
Yeah, it just kind of reemphasized that I was doing things the right way, that I was putting in the right work, and that I would have more opportunities to be in these games. And I've been lucky enough to be in 2 more of them since and win both of those. And so get to go up against a great football team as well. And so I'm excited for the opportunity.
We'll go last to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, congrats, Patrick. I want to ask you about the offensive line. It seems like they made a point today to put in some work and play pretty solid. Can you talk about the job that they did?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have just been battling. They've been battling. They've accepted the challenge. When they play the way they've played these last two games, we're a hard team to beat. And so we put that on them. I mean, we tell them that. We reemphasize that as we go as they go. And as they play with that attitude and that mentality to finish and to do their job, you see our offense does special things.
Patrick, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll take 4 quick questions for Hitch here. Anthony Hitchens is next. All right, we'll start first with Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Anthony, can you just kind of speak to the chippiness that was kind of happening out there during the game and how maybe difficult it was to keep your guys' cool when it got a little crazy out there near the end?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very high emotional game, and I mean, we starting to pull away there, and I mean, they knew we was, finna to win right there. So, I mean, it gets a little chippy at the end. It's chippy throughout the whole game, but it's just getting more escalated at the end where we knew we was going to win the game. So, I mean, it's part of football. I think we got to do a little better job of controlling our emotions, and that at that point, because if it was a close game, it could have cost us, points. So, that's just something we're going to correct here going forward and get ready for the Super Bowl.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hitch, congratulations. I know your job and the rest of the defense's job gets a lot easier when Chris Jones is really playing well. Seems like that was the case tonight. How did you see his game, and how did it help things out for the rest of your defense?
Yeah, I mean, Chris is unstoppable like 90% of the time, man. He's a big, fast, strong, quick, human. There's not too many guys in this league that, can block him or wants to block him for that matter. And from first snap to the last snap, he was going, hard and 110, and that's what we need. It's the playoffs, man. Your best players got to play well, and I think as a team we did that.
I'll go last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Anthony, 3 seasons in Kansas City. You've gone to 3 AFC title games, 2 Super Bowls. What has this all meant for you, and what's been the importance to you of coming to Kansas City for your life and your career?
Yeah, I think when I'm done, I look back and reminisce and all that stuff. But right now, I'm just staying in the moment. It's hard to really look back to be like, yeah, 3 this and then chance for 2 rings and things like that. I'm just staying in the moment. Like all I'm focused on right now is how to get better on this bye week and then leading up to the game to get a win. And maybe this offseason I'll look back on it and things like that. But to be honest, I'm one of those guys that just stay in the moment. I have to do that. I don't look forward. I don't look back. Good plays or bad plays or good seasons or bad seasons and things like that. I feel like that's what helped me get to 7 years and going on 8 next year is just staying in the moment, stay in, in that moment and then try to just do your best, at that time. So, yeah, I'll probably look back when I'm done. Right now, my head's down and I'm grinding.
Hitch, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, guys, we got Tyrann Mathieu coming up next. Hey, Tyrann, you ready for us?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll start first with Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Congrats on the win. I think the message from everybody has been, it's a good win. It's glad to be here, but the job's not done yet. How do you kind of stay even keel as you cross off one of the big goals on the bucket list coming into the season?
It's all about team, man. Long as we stay committed to the team, long as we stay committed to our process, continuing to trust our coaches, believe in those guys, everything else will take care of itself. It's not really about, individually how we feel. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is whether you won or lost the game. Obviously, it was a great win for us. Job not done, though. We got one more game to go, and so we'll be ready for it.
Let's go next to Jory Epstein. Go ahead, Jory.
Tyrann, obviously y'all have time to prepare for Tampa, but Brett Veach talked specifically about how your leadership gives him confidence in this defense. What gives you the most confidence about why y'all are ready for Brady and the Bucs?
It's all about preparation. It's all about, the information that you're able to take in and then take it to the field. It's all about understanding and believing in your coaches, all about believing in their plan, the game plan. And then from there, it's all about us going out there, trying to execute that game plan. And, you're not always in the best position. Sometimes, we got to go above the X's and O's to make a play. But, it's all about team. It's all about our coaches.
Go next to Herbie, TOP. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Tyron, during the week, you had mentioned how dangerous these Bills receivers were, but it seems like there was a concerted effort today to take away Stephon Diggs. What went into the plan to take away Diggs?
Well, I felt like for the most part, we ran our, same defense that we've been running, for the last couple of weeks or so. Obviously, he's a great receiver. So, great receivers require you to double them from time to time. But at the end of the day, I thought Travarius Ward, I thought Brashard Breeland, Rashad Fenton, L'Jarius Sneed, Dan Sorensen was covering wide receivers today. So I kind of, I had a day off in my mind. It's good to see those guys step up, and win their one-on-one matchups. And that's what it's all about, man. It's all about technique. It's all about leverage, and just making the plays that come to you.
We'll take three more. Adam, Nate, and then Vahe. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyron, a couple things. First of all, on Pat, he had a lot to overcome this week. When did you know, not that he was just going to play, but that he was going to play as well as he did today? And Brad, I'll have one follow-up as well.
I knew after the last game, when he was in the locker room, and, he had that look in his eye like, don't forget about me. He's a great talent, man. He's a better teammate. He's a better person. Just watching him work throughout the week, he was the same old Pat. He's the same teammate, same leader, moving around, trying to extend plays, even in practice. Then on top of that, he's a gamer. So it doesn't necessarily matter the situation or the circumstances. He tends to rise above all of that.
I'm curious what your realistic expectations were when you signed here. Did you think that you weren't just going to get a shot at a Super Bowl and a championship, but multiple Super Bowls and maybe multiple championships?
I didn't, to be honest, man, obviously, you have big time dreams, you have big time goals. Obviously, it was a great football team before I got here. Obviously, you want to compete for a championship, but the only expectation I had, man, was to come in and, show the guys who I am, day to day. And so it's 2 years later and, practice, still means the most to me. Game day is just it's fun, but, for me, it's all about practice. It's all about how I prepare and how I get my teammates prepared. So, but I'd probably say, that was my only expectation, man, was to come in here, work hard, understanding that, we had a great team, a great coaching staff, and a lot of those things take care of themselves.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tyron, I know you guys are back-to-back champions and you've won 24 of 25 before today, but was there a sense in the locker room that guys were still motivated by some naysayers out there that were obviously either picking the Bills or weren't confident that you guys had the chance to go back to Super Bowl based on, winning close games instead of, the traditional blowout that you had tonight?
Obviously, man, we live in a social media world and, the TVs are always on. Some places got 30 TVs in one building, So, you hear a lot, you see a lot. I think at the end of the day for us, man, it's all about team. It's all about whether or not we're committed to each other. It's not necessarily about any outside noise. Just looking through the locker room, looking around the locker room, everybody believes in each other. It doesn't matter if it's Pat Mahomes out there or Chad Henne. It doesn't matter if we're throwing a deep ball to Tyreek Hill or, DeMarcus Robinson. I think in everybody's mind, it's our play to make. So, it's just good to have that bond. It's good to have that chemistry, man. I think that's what keeps great teams going, is that commitment to one another.
Tyron, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we got Frank Clark coming up next.
For a quick question?
Hi, Frank. We'll get started with Todd Levo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Frank, congratulations. you guys are having a lot of fun now. It got a little ugly out there in the second half. It got a little chippy out there. Was that just kind of what happens in the course of one of these games when it's do or die for another team? And it's all good though with everyone.
Yeah, it's always good, man. Emotions was high. Games start kind of getting out of hand at the end. You start. I don't know the feeling of the other team, but I know us personally. Getting excited. Just trying to close the game out, finish strong. You know what I mean? That's all. You watch it in football all the time when, you planning for these type of things. You planning for a trip to the Super Bowl, so emotions running high, emotions everywhere and stuff like that. But we kept it together enough to make it off the field into the locker room and hold the trophy. So I think that's all that matters.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hey, Frank, congratulations. Thinking back to the season and just the year, just how satisfying was it with everything on the line here, being able to register the 2 sacks in big spots tonight?
I'm just happy to be able to do everything I can for my team. Honestly, I don't really count numbers and stuff like that, man. I've been successful in this league individually for a long time now. Just doing what I have to do, man. I know how important it is, for this on this tour that we on, man, to get back to this position that we in now. And like I said, I sacrifice a lot, man. And just to be able to go out there, man, my coaches put faith and trust in me. Got all the faith in the world with Spags, calling plays. And that's all it is with us, man.
We got 2 more. We'll go Sam and then Aaron. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Frank. Congrats, man. We talk a lot about just X's and O's and the talent that you guys have. I'm wondering, especially since you've been part of 2 franchises, can you put sort of a measurement on what kind of role just the personality of this team and the personalities within the locker room contribute to what you guys do?
Yeah, it's not. I don't want to throw no shade on nobody else or my former team I played for or nothing like that. But it's just here it's you got guys, you got a group of guys that want to play for the coach and they want to play for each other. You know what I mean? When you're out there and you got to make a sacrifice for the next man, he might not be feeling too well or he might be a little banged up or something. You understand this. It's the things the media don't really understand that's going on within that brotherhood and that locker room. And it's like sometimes you got to step up and make sacrifices. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices that you probably wouldn't necessarily make. It can be a play call. It can be, a situation. It can be, the way the dynamics of the game is going. You watching the beginning of the game today, it kind of looked shaky in the beginning. Defense, we getting stops. We getting, forcing them to kick field goals and stuff. We get the muff punt, whatever. And it kind of looks shaky. As it should. It's a championship football game. That's what you want to see. I keep people watching too. So, stuff, I don't know if Cole did that on purpose, but it keep people watching. It keep them on the edge of their seats and stuff like that too. So, you know what I mean, man. Little Chiefs football for you. Keep you on the edge of the seats.
We'll last to Aaron Ladd. What, Aaron?
I think we heard a few weeks back Chase Young say that he wants Tom Brady. He wants Tom. You have a message for the GOAT headed into the Super Bowl?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say to him. I'll see his ass on Sunday in the Super Bowl.
Frank, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, we got Travis Kelce coming our way next. We'll take 4 quick ones here, guys. Hi, Trav, you ready for us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll start first with Terez Paylor. Go ahead, Terez.
Hey, Travis, congratulations, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Feels good, dog.
No doubt, no doubt. I want to ask you a little bit about football. Awesome touchdown catch you had. I was hoping you kind of walk me through the concept and what happened. It looked like mesh, but like, what did you see and what happened on the play?
Well, there's actually a pretty familiar route concept for a lot of people in the red zone. You can get a lot of people mixed up in the play action and the wash of what's really going on in the backfield. And then you put me and Tyreek, one in the back of the end zone, one in the front of the end zone, and hope that one of us can win our matchups thinking that it's a man coverage. And sure enough, everybody forgot about me. So I was just wide open. I'll tell you what, though, man, it's always just a little bit awkward when Pat puts it up like that, man, because you're open, but you don't know how open you are. So it's just waiting for that thing to come down felt like it took forever.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, when did you know this week that not only Pat was going to play, but he was going to play and be the Pat that you know? When did you know that was something you saw in practice, anything like that?
Honestly, I left the game last week to see his excitement for the win in the locker room. I mean, I know he had to go through protocols and all of that, but he never seemed like he wasn't himself. He never seemed like there was ever a doubt in his mind that he was going to play in this game. And I think it was just kind of letting everything play out in terms of the protocols or the concussion protocol. And but I mean, he was out there dialed in, throwing the ball all over the field and making the right decisions. And sure enough, today, man, he played his A game and led us to the Super Bowl, man.
The last two, Steve and then Matt. What's Steve?
Hey, what's up, Trav? Hey,
Steve.
Not much. We all know you're a veteran in this league, right? But week to week, no matter who is guarding you, it seems like you still find a way to consistently be a problem for defenses. How is it that if it looks like you're still getting better, man, or is it all just routine for you?
That's all I know how to do is attack the day, find a weakness or find something that I can get better at when I'm in the building, when I'm out on the practice field. When I watch film, I'm my worst critic, man. I tell myself I'm a scrub all the time when I see myself not doing something the right way or getting locked up. And there were a few plays out here, man. That's a good football team right there. Don't let the score, get it twisted. That team can play some football. I think we just had the quarterback back there that could make all the right plays and all the right throws. And sure enough, today he was just flawless. And it led us to victory.
Last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Travis, congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year was really emotional for you, going through from the AFC title game all the way to the parade. It was a big deal. Is this year different? I mean, is the emotional, where you are right now, mindset-wise, different than it was a year ago right now?
Man, I think it's different in a way of I can't really put my finger on it, man. It's almost like it's a little bit more exciting. I feel like last year it was a question of whether or not we belonged, and this year it was let's go out and prove to ourselves that we are who we are, and the resiliency, the how we're going to handle adversity. I just love this team, man. This team has helped me in life in so many different ways, just because of how we handle adversity and how we win football games, and how we just keep getting better. And I love it here, man. I can't wait to go down to Tampa in 2 weeks and give them our best shot.
Travis, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night, guys.
You too. I believe we have McCall Hardman as our last guest coming up next.
No, thank you. No, stop.
All right, McCall, we'll get started first. We'll start with Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, McCall, congratulations. I wonder if you could take us through after the punt return, what you were going through and what Patrick said to you on the sideline, and if that mattered, if that helped you.
I don't know what was going through my head, man. Just a dumb mistake on my part. Could have been better, but like Pat, and the other guys was like, keep your head up. It's a long game. Got a lot of more plays to make, and we're gonna need you down the stretch. And that was that.
Go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Nicole, congratulations. It seems like the general theme of the team tonight has just been dissatisfaction, just not satisfied yet. A little bit different than last year's AFC title game. Just how much do you feel that is throughout the locker room, that there's just so much more to do and make sure you win 2 weeks from now?
I think this team, I think we just have a goal in mind, and we all want to achieve that goal, and no matter what it takes. And I think we just a group of guys that want to be perfect, and strive for their perfection. And no matter how we do it, it's like we could have did that better. You know what I'm saying? We could have did this better, and we left too many plays out there. I think we always trying to improve on everything we do, and I think that's what kind of like separates us. And I think we're gonna take that kind of same mentality into 2 weeks from now to the Super Bowl.
Go 2 more. We'll go Todd and then Herbie. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, McCole, we don't get to be in the locker room with you guys during the week or after the games anymore. Last year, it struck me that you guys were so close and so tight. How has this year been a little bit different with the way you guys have to go about your business doing things? And has that in an odd way maybe even brought you closer together, that you guys have had to endure all this other stuff besides just football?
I don't know. I think with the pandemic and, changing a lot of things, it's more so like it just – you can't use that as an excuse, if that makes sense. I don't think we use that as an excuse, and I think it actually did bring us together closer because we had to take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we couldn't go out there and do things we usually do and bring that into the locker room, with everybody and, causing people to miss games and stuff like that. And I think we did a real good job of that this year in protecting each other and and did bring us together because we all had to be, all locked in on one page, and I think we did a great job of that, and we're gonna continue to do that going into the Super Bowl. And I think, I think that's kind of how we did things.
We'll go last to Herbie TOP. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, McCole, to quickly follow up on Vahe's first question there. You had mentioned that your teammates stuck by you, but what did it mean to you that they still called the plays for you, and how gratifying was it for you that you scored that touchdown and had that 50-yard run?
My teammates always gonna, they're gonna be with me. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep me up. They're gonna keep me motivated, and and make sure I don't have my head down. And I was still mentally intact, so it wasn't that. But it's also good to know the coach, still have confidence in you, to call some plays for you, to make things happen in the game. And, the type of player I am, I'm gonna try to take advantage of the opportunities that I get. And I still got all the more confidence in the world back there returning punt. So I'm still, they still kicking the ball out of bounds even after the muff. They still muffing kicks after the muff. So they tell you they still respect me back there, and I'm just still waiting, for that chance to to make up for what I did this game. And then I think going to the Super Bowl is kind of it's going to be one of those games like, hey, I'm coming to make a statement. So
McCole, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. All right, guys, that's all we have for today. We will be transcribing, and we will be sending out audio and video of the press conference. So if you missed any of this, you'll be able to get it there. Please reach out if you guys have any questions. See y'all soon.